that game really had no business being as intense and as close as it was, considering how both of these teams has played the past few weeks. But nonetheless, a massive overtime victory for the Miami Dolphins at home against the New York Jets. They win 32-26, and oh man, that game, that was definitely one of the games Miami has played this season. The first half was going pretty well. Offense was scoring consistently, doing a good job and everything. The defense was definitely concerned the majority of this game. Third quarter was terrible. Offense had like 7 plays on offense on that quarter. Just nothing going their way. Defense giving up shit left and right. Just not good and questionable decision making. I was really curious about why McDaniel decided to just punt it on that 4th and 4 in plus territory, but the defense makes a good play, makes some plays on that following drive, hold them to a field goal, and that turned out to be massive. The big thing for this game, I could talk a lot about the first half and the third quarter, because like those were definitely moments that like, hey, this team needs to be playing better. They need to be able to finish drives, they need to be able to hit their extra points. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff that happened in that first half specifically came back, and those same players in those same moments ended up getting redeemed at later points in this game. The big one is Jason Sanders. He missed the extra point on the opening drive, and that set Miami back the majority of this game. It became a lot tougher for this game to be close and to get it tied at one point because they then needed 2-point conversion. But still, but then Sanders redeems himself. Right before the end of the first half, Miami goes on this beautiful 1-minute drill offense and sets Sanders up for a 57-yard kick and beautifully centered. And he absolutely drills it. So Miami has a 2-point lead entering the half. So you're feeling a little bit good. You're feeling good. Like, okay, yeah, the offense hasn't been playing great, but that was a fantastic drive to end the half. And we're heading in. And then the defense just went silent. It looked like they were checked out of the game in that third quarter. And I don't really know why, because that game was still very much in it at that point. We go down by 5, and it's whatever. You're expecting the offense to score like they did most of the first half, and they just didn't. Well, then the defense all of a sudden just gives up another field goal, and we're down by 8, and then the defense just turns it on. And it all begins with a minute left in the third quarter. Miami punts it down, and this is what set up. This was the 4th and 4 punt, I believe. No, it was another like weird punt decision to make. Jake Bailey sends it down. It's caught at the 18-ish yard. No, it's caught like the 13-yard line. And Saran Neal, who was assigned in this past offseason that no one really talked about. I didn't even talk about him being signed because he's a primary special teams player. So like, okay, he's gonna make maybe a play a game, or maybe play a game, maybe one big play the entire season. It's not really anything massive because who knows when that play is gonna come and in what moment. Well, that play came today. Bailey punts it down, gets down to the 13-yard line where it's caught, and Saran Neal instantly tackles him and gets everyone hyped. He lays a nice hit on the return man and gets people going. So the third quarter ends, and the Jets are facing a second down play to begin the fourth. And then the Dolphins force a 3-and-out. So it's like, okay, this is good. We got something going here. Then the offense comes on the field, and they have a touchdown, and they have a pretty meh drive. And then they had their touchdown drive. They had their touchdown drive and got a 2-point conversion. It's a tied game. The defense comes back and steps up again. Another 3-and-out. Then the offense slows down. And it's like, great. This is where we had the momentum. Everything was going great. The defense was finally playing well and making the plays. And then the offense slows down. And then the Jets had a 2-minute warning. Right in the game. Clear field goal range. Chance to win it. All Miami could really do is just try and push them back. Well, they did. The Jets lost 11 yards on back-to-back plays, and then they gained most of it back anyways to Devontae Adams, but it's whatever. But that entire sequence, including forcing Devontae Adams out of bounds, Kendall Fuller made his return in this game. He was a massive piece for this win because he did a great job at forcing people out of bounds. They forced Devontae Adams out of bounds with 56 seconds left, so then they kicked a field goal up by 3. This gives the offense 52 seconds left. And you look back to the end of the first half, they had 49 seconds left and got into field goal range. So you're like, okay, all we need is a decent enough return, and I like our chances to potentially tie this game into overtime. Well, Malik Washington, the rookie, who during the preseason was making great plays, especially as a return man, and at this point has basically been confirmed to be the replacement of Braxton Berrios. He has an incredible return, including bulldozing the kicker, and sets Miami up beautifully. So then they get the field goal before the half in that beautiful 1-minute drill once again, or before the end of the game. And then the overtime drive was also fantastic. A big no-show for this game up until that end point was Jonnu Smith. He wasn't really doing anything in this game. He wasn't getting the looks. He was blocking well, but he wasn't getting his looks. Well, overtime came. And the first play was a great job by Tua to throw the ball out. Definitely great play. But then we were like, hey, we have Jonnu Smith. Let's run a screenplay to him. We pick up 20 yards. Like, hey, we have Jonnu Smith. Let's run a screenplay to him again. Picks up 15 yards. And then we run the screen to Achane, gets about 4 or whatever, but it's whatever. And then eventually, again, at that point, after the screenplay to Achane, it was just slowly moving the ball down the field. And oh man, Jonnu Smith had probably the best drive because he had that 10-yard game-winning touchdown. It was, damn, this game was not good. Miami should have played a lot better, especially defensively, but you get the win nonetheless. You're feeling somewhat good. They have a big-time game against Houston next week on the road, and their playoff hopes stay alive for the time being. It's definitely something. Again, I can go into a lot of detail about kind of like the minor things that I saw and some of the other things I saw during like the third quarter and the first half. But again, most of those in the fourth quarter got fixed, and the team was able to redeem themselves in very similar moments. So I'm not too worried. I mean, I am worried, but at the same time, it's like they showed in that same game that they can fix it and adjust and make the plays they need to win. And that's all that really matters. They get the win. They're 6-7. Again, a tough one against Houston next week on the road. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm going to send off there. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. You know the whole drill. See you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.